Hello friends, I welcome you all to our YouTube channel Adapt, Learn and Grow Together. In this session, we will continue our discussion on conditional formatting. We will use the business queries mentioned here to get a better understanding of usage and application of conditional formatting. Let us now move to our Excel sheet to solve these business queries and understand how insights can be generated using the conditional formatting. Now, before we move towards our business queries, let us first understand the data that we will be using in this session. This sheet captures total sales for a given product. For example, for a given product cow milk, the total sales in amount is 20,000, and for A2 cow milk the total sales in amount is 11,000. On similar lines, the total sales for noodles is 31,000. So now we understand that this data captures the total sales amount for a given product. Now moving to our first query, which is highlighting the top 5 products in terms of sales from the given data. This can easily be achieved using conditional formatting. To apply conditional formatting, let us first select the data where we want the conditional formatting to be applied. Then inside the Home tab, let us go to Conditional Formatting option, and on the click of Conditional Formatting option, we can see that there are lists of predefined rules for the Excel users. Instead of creating a new rule for this business query, we will be using the predefined rules which are captured in top or bottom rules. So we can see that there are predefined rules being shown here, but for our query, we will use top 10 items. This rule will help us in extracting top 10 items, but since we are looking for top 5 products only, let us see can we configure these top 10 items to top 5 items or products. On click of top 10 items, this dialog box gets opened up, and we can see that in the first option we can update the number of items as per our query. Since we are looking for top 5 items, I can change this number from 10 to 5. Also, for the top 5 sales amount, we can format these cells as per our requirement. The drop down gives us a list of predefined formats, but for our example, we will be using custom format. Inside the custom format, we will first go to Font tab and will update the font style to bold. Then we will go to Fill tab and we will define the color of the cell which contains the top 5 sales. In the fill section, we will select green color. Now clicking on OK, we can see that the number of items and the format is as per what we configured. It shows us top 5 items here, highlighted in bold font style. Also, we define the background color of the cell containing the top 5 sales as green. So the cells highlighted in bold and the background as green highlights the sales, total sales value that are among the top 5, and the corresponding products here represent the top 5 products in terms of the sales. Now moving to our second query, which is highlighting the bottom 2 products in terms of sales. Now again we can solve this query using the conditional formatting. To apply conditional formatting, our first step is to select the data where you want the conditional format to be applied. Once the data is selected, inside the Home tab, we will go to Conditional Formatting option, and again we will try solving this requirement using the predefined rules created for the Excel users. Now we are looking for bottom 2 products, hence we will use the rules present in top or bottom rules. Earlier we used top 10 since we had the requirement of finding the top 5 items. Here we will use bottom 10 because we are interested in products for which the total sales amount is among the bottom 2. So on click of bottom 10 items, this dialog box gets opened, and again we can see that we can easily configure the bottom 10 items to bottom 2 items by changing the value here from 10 to 2, and for the cells that belong to bottom 2 we can define a format using the custom format. First we will go to font tab, and this time as bold italics, and the cells having sales values for the bottom 2 products will be highlighted in red color. On press of OK, we can see here that the conditional formatting has been applied and the bottom 2 sales values are being highlighted in red cells and font style equal to bold italics. So cow milk, chili ketchup and imli ketchup are the products which have the bottom 2 total sales value in the given data. So till now we have completed the first 2 business queries. Now we will focus on the remaining 2 business queries. To work on the left business queries, let us move to our Excel sheet. We will be using the data shown here for the remaining 2 queries. Before we start with the queries, let us first understand the data which is shown here. The data is capturing the November 2025 total sales and December 2025 sales for each product. For example, in the case of cow milk, this data is telling us that the total sales of cow milk in the month of November 2025 is equal to 20,000, and the total sales of cow milk in the month of December 2025 is 21,200. On similar lines, let us take the example of multigrain bread. The multigrain bread had the total sales in the month of November 2025 as 13,200, and in the month of December the total sales for the multigrain bread is 14,400. So we can say that for each product we are capturing the total sales value of 2 months, which is November and December, and basis these values we will derive column E, which captures the growth of the product from November month to December month. So to calculate the growth, we would simply subtract the total sales value of December minus the total sales value in November 2025. So we have applied this formula and we have copied this formula for the remaining products as well. We can see that there are few products which are having value in positive. For example, cow milk, full cream milk, wheat bread, multigrain bread, and so on. There are also few products where the growth is negative. So for the buffalo milk, the November sales were more than the December sales. Hence, it shows a negative growth. Same is the case with the toned milk. There is a negative growth here, and in the case of sandwich bread, again there is a negative growth here. So let us now solve the remaining queries using the data and the understanding provided. The query here is to highlight the cells where business growth is positive. Simply, since we have calculated the growth, so we want to highlight the products where growth is positive, and we can do this by selecting the data where we want the conditional formatting to be applied. Then inside the home tab we will go to conditional formatting, and here we have the predefined rules for Excel users, and now we will use highlight cell rules. Since we want a condition for positive growth, we will use the rule greater than, and here since we are only interested in positive growth, we would put the condition as all the cells that have growth greater than 0 would be termed as cells where growth is positive. So, since we're talking about growth here, I will be asking the Excel to fill such cells with green background and date the text from black to dark green. This can be achieved by selecting this option and then clicking OK. We can see that all the positive growth cells have been highlighted with green and the value inside the cell is highlighted with dark green. On similar lines, the next query is to highlight the cells where growth is 0. So again, for solving this query, we will again select the data where we want the conditional formatting to be applied. Inside the home tab, we will go to conditional formatting option, and in the conditional formatting option, we will select the highlight cell rules and we will apply equal to rule for the growth column. Now, as the query says we want to highlight the cell where the growth is 0, so we will enter the value as 0 because we want to format the cells where actually the growth is 0. We want those particular cells to be filled with yellow color with a dark yellow text. On click of OK, we can see that there is one product which is having 0 growth. Remaining products are either having positive growth or they are having a negative growth. Let us quickly apply the formatting rule for negative growth as well. We will use the rule less than, and here we would enter the value 0. So any value which is less than 0, that cell would be filled with light red color and the text present in that cell would be dark red text. On clicking of OK, we can see that the cells having the negative growth are formatted with the format that we mentioned here. So here all the red colored cells are showing a negative growth, all the green colored cells are showing the positive growth, and all the yellow colored cells are showing no growth. Can we make it look better? Yes, we will again select the cells where we want the conditional format to be applied. On top of it, click on conditional formatting, and in the icon sets, if we pick this arrow pattern, each row where growth is negative is highlighted by lower direction arrow which is red in color, and the cells where the growth is positive, we have an upper direction arrow filled with green color. So this is how we can use conditional formatting to capture positive growth, negative growth, and no growth scenarios. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for future notifications.